All right, so now let me show you another example. Get up here. Here we go. So I have it as a web browser view now instead of opening up my personal email address. But I mentioned many times the Center for Artistic Activism is an organization that I really, really recommend you all to check out if you're interested in art and activism. They have tons of free resources on their website. There's tons of reasons to go and check out their website. And they're getting much better with their social media. So lots of cool stuff on social media too. I think this is a great example of really, really good headlines. A futurist, a sci-fi writer, and an activist walk into a bar. ... I really want to know the rest of this. I really hope there's a punchline. If there's not, I'm going to be angry. And what's nice is it feels like a more personal letter because Steve actually signed his name. It feels a little bit more personal this way. Great tactic to try to be more personal. Next one, imagined worlds make for effective, inspiring, and practical campaigns. Then we get the actual title, The Power of Utopia, Revolutionizing Activism, The Power of Utopia. So it's kind of interesting here that they did the subtitle and then the title as like a kind of like a drum roll almost, and then into the title. I thought this was a really great example. These are longer titles, but I actually thought they were pretty good. If they'd been any longer, I would have been like, it's too long. And I like that there's dots here. There's some space in between. It's not necessarily white space, it's more like beige space. But it helps me kind of break things up to figure out what are the sections I want to focus on first, especially if I'm on a limited time. So this title to me, again, I am the target audience for this. So you yourself might be like, well, this isn't that interesting to me, but you're not necessarily the target audience, but I'm definitely the target audience. And like this title is very interesting to me. The idea of utopia. So yes, and then I get to see the pictures of these people, and I get to be like, do I know them? I don't actually know these people. Are these people I should know? And then, oh wow, I can get to know them. Great, like, are these people I should know? Are they really important? So I can read a little bit about these people. What's nice is, again, image, a little bit of text, not too much text. Image, a little bit of text, not too much. Image, a little bit of text, not too much. And what's cool is they're using different tactics, mainly quotes, to get me to read that particular profile. I love this quote. It's better to be surprised by simulation than blindsided by reality. What does that mean? When logic hides reality. What does that mean? Utopianism is not the assumption that nothing will go wrong. Okay, so these quotes to me are very enticing. I really want to read more. Okay, there's lots of ways that I can engage. I can register for that thing up here, register button up here, PS, sign up for the Learning Lab and join our regional creative hubs, and like all these links. There's so many things that I can click on and choose your own adventure on. Okay, a little bit more. Down here, submit a project to be featured. Wow, an opportunity. It's really great when you offer opportunities. However it makes sense to your audience, offer them some opportunities. This is a great one. This is a chance for me to do something cool. Absolutely. And then of course at the end, the call to action, support artistic activism. Now, it's a good question. How many activists that read this newsletter are actually going to donate? I don't want to like make any assumptions about class or socioeconomic background for activists, but like if they know their demographics, how many of them are likely to actually donate is a good question. Also, a lot of activists are already donating a lot of time and energy, and they're not going to do anymore. They have to draw the line somewhere. So something else to think about. So I'm very curious who their target audiences are outside of just activists and artists. There might be other people reading these newsletters who would actually support this NGO and maybe like support other nonprofits. So I don't know, but because that's there, it makes me kind of wonder if it's being proven effective. It's probably why they kept it. Maybe they just feel like, hey, let's just throw it down there and just see if anyone happens to donate. That would be cool. Maybe they've never had a click before. I don't actually know. But it does make me think like someone's probably clicked on it at least once if they've kept it there, right? Because your call to action, like your most important call to action, I think should be at the top and maybe reiterated at the bottom. That's something I do. You might be encouraged to do it differently next week in your class. But I do think like you can also have other important calls to action towards the bottom, so that way you can really encourage the reader to keep reading. Like if you do put like really good stuff at the bottom, then that encourages them to go through the whole newsletter to get to the good stuff. And to me, that would be this part, to submit a project to be featured. That's cool. But that tactic you might not want to do because you're worried of people not actually scrolling all the way to the bottom. Again, look at your analytic tools, figure out like how are people interacting with your email to decide what works best. Do I put the most important stuff at the top or at the bottom? Do I repeat it, etc.?